Every day, the young maid risked her life to steal food from the kitchen and bring it to the third prince in the cold palace. In her previous life, she had entered the palace to appeal for her wrongfully accused father, only to meet a tragic end. Only this most neglected prince had secretly buried her body. However, the prince's kindness aroused the crown prince's jealousy, leading to his brutal persecution. When she opened her eyes again, she found herself back on the day she first entered the palace, coinciding with the death of the third prince's birth mother. Everyone in the palace was busy handling the funeral arrangements, paying no attention to the third prince in the cold palace and even humiliating him arbitrarily. She suddenly remembered that on this day in her previous life, she had defected to the crown prince to clear her father's name, helping him eliminate rivals and ascend the throne, only to be killed afterward. Given a second chance at life, she was determined to protect the third prince, help him become the crown prince, and use his power to avenge her father. Seeing someone bullying the third prince, she immediately rushed forward to shield him and volunteered to stay in the cold palace to serve him. But the third prince had endured constant beatings and scoldings in the cold palace since childhood, developing a withdrawn and suspicious personality. He thought she had ulterior motives and shut the door in her face. Knowing the prince was only cold on the outside but warm on the inside, she deliberately trembled from the cold and begged in the snowy night. Sure enough, the third prince softened, throwing a quilt out. She seized the opportunity to slip into the room and climb into bed. Considering the bitter cold of the heavy snow, the third prince silently allowed her to stay for the night. Looking at the drafty palace and thin bedding, she felt a sharp sadness thinking about how the third prince had endured such harsh conditions for years. It was too cold at night, so she couldn't help but squeeze into the third prince's bed. He initially mistook her for an assassin, but only relaxed his guard when he saw her sound asleep. She clearly remembered that in a few days, a favored concubine would suffer a sudden miscarriage. Later, under the pretense of recovering her health, she would take the third prince in to raise him. This was a crucial chance for the third prince to leave the cold palace, so she had to gain his trust as soon as possible. Early in the morning, she cleaned the room thoroughly, boiled hot water, and brought it to the third prince to wash his face. Even though he was cold and distant, she firmly stated that she would only stay by his side. Life in the cold palace was extremely difficult. The maids delivering meals didn't take the third prince seriously at all, snatching the steamed buns meant for him every time. She rushed forward to take the buns back and stuff them into the prince's hands, warning the maids not to anger the emperor. Instead, she was mocked. His Majesty has long forgotten this outcast. They even ordered the prince to collect his own meals from then on. The third prince still thought she was putting on an act, telling her plainly that he couldn't leave and advising her not to hold out hope. That night, she went to see the third prince with medicine and eggs. Faced with his wariness, she whispered, "I care about your injuries." This simple sentence warmed the third prince's heart. Late at night, after she fell asleep, the third prince gently touched her eyebrows for the first time, his vigilance gradually fading.